to the 2025 NCAA Division II Baseball Super Regional at Elmore Vale Field on the campus of Northwest Nazarene University. Today's game features the Cal State Monterey Bay Otters versus the Northwest Nazarene Nighthawks. As a reminder to all spectators, please be alert at all times during today's game. Baseballs can accidentally fly into the seating areas. Be alert to the action. The NCAA and NNU want everyone to stay safe and have an enjoyable day watching the best college baseball in the nation. Let's meet the non-starters for the Otters. Number 3, Nick Miastis. Number 4, Cale Good. Number 5, Daniel Flores. Number 8, Andrew Lehman. Number 9, Mike McKernan. Number 12, Evan Stouch. Number 16, Anthony McFarland. Number 17, Ryan Eo. Number 18, Vince Ciccolello. Number 19, Antoine Valerio. Number 21, Kyle Giovannoni. Number 22, Aiden Lee. Number 24, Andrew Coton. Number 25, Andrew Gennady. Number 28, Henry Kroger. Number 30, Omar Gastelum. Number 31, Jacob Parks. Number 32, Ryan Sleeman. Number 34, Dylan Gardner. Number 35, Mitchell Torres. Number 38, Drew Aguiar. And number 39, Michael Potter. And now, baseball fans, it's time to meet the starters for Cal State Monterey Bay. Number 1, in left field, number 37, Jimmy Garcia. At third base, number 10, Jacob Dressler. In center field, number 27, K.W. Koichi. At second base, number 40, Javier Felix. The DH, number 44, Jaden Shepard. At first base, number 33, Cole Richardson. At shortstop, number 23, Maximiliano Forfan. Catching, number 7, Dominic Felice. In right field, number 13, Noah Zertucci. And pitching for the Otters, number 15, Nate Rolachek. The head coach of the Otters is Walt White. He's assisted by Garrett Bell, Dennis Peters, Levi Nodden, Kramer Champlin, and Kyle Guerra. Now let's meet the non-starters for the Nighthawks. Number 1, Kellen Newsom. Number 3, Landon Parker. Number 9, Dylan Eden. Number 10, Carson Burns. Number 14, Wade Duncan. Number 16, Noah Palinares. Number 20, Adrian Arachiga. Number 22, Adam Brooks. Number 26, Liam Herrera. Number 28, Josh Bishop. Number 29, Joseph Eiley. Number 30, Jake Mestis. Number 33, Jason Bell. Number 34, Tyler Stofich. Number 50, Jonathan Zayas. Number 51, Jacob Rochelle. And number 52, Holt Williams. Now let's meet the starters for the Nighthawks. In right field, number 21, Nin Burns II. At third base, number 7, Brian Rojas. At first base, number 8, Caleb Karpstein. The DH, number 38, Chris Enriquez. The right fielder, number 27, Casey Wayne. At shortstop, number 4, Cole Calhoun. At second base, number 5, Gavin Brubaker. In center field, number 39, Carter Walsh. And catching, number 2, Drew Deal. Pitching for the Nighthawks is number 23, Ernesto Lugo Conchola. The head coach of NNU is Joe Schaefer. He's assisted by Matt Holland, Grant Cary, Eric Lopez, and Kyle Etheridge. Fans, at this time, we ask you to rise for today's invocation and the singing of the national anthem. The invocation will be delivered by the NNU campus pastor, Grant Miller, and the anthem performed by Northwest Nazarene alumni, Cary Hill. Before we do the invocation and the anthem, we now ask that you join us in a moment of silence for the NNU graduate, Serena Bennett, who tragically lost her life on Sunday while studying abroad in Ecuador. We ask that you hold Serena's family and friends and the entire NNU community in your thoughts and prayers during this difficult time. Thank you. Please stay standing for the invocation and the national anthem.
Would you please join me in a moment of prayer? Lord, we first pause and ask that you would bring your comfort and strength to the friends and family of Serena Bennett and to all who have been impacted by this tragic loss. And today, may we also be reminded of the blessings we have for the game of baseball, the beautiful weather, and the opportunity to watch these two teams of young men play today. We ask that you keep them safe and that all who are gathered here would be united in the spirit of competition and love for the game. For these things, Lord, and for your many blessings, we ask and thank you. In Jesus' name, amen. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Well, you are looking live at Vale Field here on the campus of Northwest Nazarene. For the first time in program history, the Nighthawks have earned the right to host a super regional. This week, they welcome Cal State Monterey Bay to town, a perennial power from California. For the next 2 to 3 days, I will be joined by former NNU standout closer Max Holtzclaw. I tell you, you show up to the field on a day like today, Max, and the field itself feels alive. So much at stake for two of the best Division II baseball teams in the entire country.
No, absolutely, Jay. It is an honor to be here. Thank you very much for the invitation. I'm looking forward to this weekend and looking forward to some great baseball from these two teams.
What is at stake between these two teams? A highly coveted trip to the Division II College Baseball World Series in Cary, North Carolina. Max, you were on the last NNU team, last and only NNU team that got to experience that. What was that memory like for you?
Oh, it's something that I'll remember forever, and something that one of these teams here today is going to remember forever. I mean, just the field and atmosphere over there is completely different, and there's really nothing like it. It's definitely a top one baseball memory in my career. So.
Cal State Monterey Bay has won 4 straight regular season titles in the CCAA. They've also won 3 straight tournament titles from their conference. They've been to the NCAA postseason 8 consecutive times. With their next victory, they will set a school record, which is saying something because, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, Max, this is a perennial power program out of the state of California, and the Otters build their roster off of homegrown talent.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Looking at their roster, we have 3 players that aren't from the state of California, one of them being here, local kid Dylan Gardner from Idaho. I was fortunate enough to play with him with the Canyon County Spuds for a summer, and it really is. Growing up in California myself, I mean, you just hear stories of their success as a program. They were about 4.5 hours south of me, and definitely something on my radar coming out of high school. Of just a really top-tier program in the state.
NNU, on the other hand, has won 3 out of the last 5 GNAC regular season titles. They've gone back-to-back in the GNAC tournament, putting them in the postseason once again, and, well, some payback on the minds of the Nighthawks because a year ago they made the postseason, but it was Cal State Monterey Bay that knocked them out of the postseason. And NNU going with their ace, Ernesto Lugo Canchola, in Game 1. The first pitch right down the middle for a strike. Jimmy Garcia leading off and playing left field for Cal State Monterey Bay. Fouls off the second pitch to quickly fall behind 0-2. Lugo Canchola, a perfect 11-0 on the season, a 2.10 ERA, 91 strikeouts on the season, approaching the single-season school record. Ball chopped towards short. The toss across the diamond in time for the first out here in the top of the first inning.
Now batting, the third baseman, number 10, Jacob Dressler.
Cole Callan on there making the play. He's just been an outstanding defender for the Nighthawks the past 2 years. I mean, it is fun to watch him field a baseball.
He is their Iron Man. 10-0 on the hill. He hasn't missed a single game this season, whether starting at shortstop or starting on the mound for NNU. Again, Lugo Canchola working ahead. Jacob Dressler hitting in the 2-hole, playing third base. He'll be followed in the lineup by K.W. Quilici, one of the best Division II players you will see. Dressler hitting .318 on the season, 55 hits in 45 games. Pops this one to Burns in right field. A can of corn for the second out of the inning.
Now batting, number 27, the center fielder, K.W. Quilici.
And here comes Quilici. This is one of the best matchups you will see in the country this weekend. Quilici comes in hitting .392, 15 doubles, 13 home runs to go along with 50 RBIs. Again, Lugo Canchola working ahead. 3 first pitch strikes for the senior southpaw. Winds and delivers. Ugly swing there by an elite hitter, and now he finds himself in a quick 0-2 hole. Up and away for ball one. Lugo Canchola last weekend went 5 innings, gave up 2 runs, really battled with some command issues. Said he really only had control of his fastball in that game, but still made it 5 innings. A game that obviously NNU would go on to win and keep their season alive, but it just seems like whenever NNU is faced with an elimination game, a big game, this is the guy they send to the hill. Normally it's a little bit later in the weekend, but with the way this series stacks up, a best of 3, they got him out here game number 1.
Yeah, with that 11-0 record, I mean, you want to win that first game of a 3-game series. That just puts you in the driver's seat, and that's what Ernesto's looking to do here.
After working ahead 0-2, Quilici now works a full count with 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. Fouled away down the left field line. We'll do it again. Lugo Canchola this week was named a first-team All-American. And I tell you, Max, you guys have had some quality players here at NNU, especially recently, but he is the first-team All-American in school history. Almost had to double-check that one.
Yeah, it doesn't come as a surprise at all. I mean, his poise on the mound and work ethic, I mean, they speak for themselves. For him to put up the numbers that he did this year, it's just incredible to be able to watch. And it's been awesome for the Nighthawk pitching staff to have him at the helm.
Payoff pitch. Quilici checks his swing, nowhere close to going though, and he'll earn the free pass.
Javier Felix.
A 2-out walk brings Javier Felix to the plate. Another part of this potent Monterey Bay lineup. Quick little mound visit here. Felix hitting .322, 11 home runs, 49 RBI. 7 out of the 9 hitters in the Otters starting lineup are batting above 300. Up and down, balanced throughout this lineup. They will test Lugo Canchola all evening.
And that's been the MO of Cal State Monterey Bay baseball. I mean, they are just scrappy hitters. They're going to grind out at bats and put up a good challenge against any pitcher.
Misses off the outside corner, ball one. Entering this week, CSUMB has their highest team slugging percentage in program history at .503. They hit the most home runs they've ever hit in program history at 77. Lugo Canchola out of the stretch. Misses off the inside corner. Drew Deala's battery mate keeps that one in front of him. Count goes to 2-1. 2 quick outs for Lugo Canchola, but run into a little bit of trouble here. Trying to get through the heart of Monterey Bay's potent lineup. Falls behind 3-1 now. Talking about this before the game, Max, and you know, opponents only hitting 171 this season against Lugo Canchola. It is really hard to find any critique or criticism about his game, but there are times where he has a tendency to walk some guys. 34 walks and a little over 81 innings of work this season, and he misses down. A check swing, they go to first. He held it, and he'll trot the first. So back-to-back 2-out walks.
Jaden Shepard.
And here comes Jaden Shepard. Another big kid, 6'6", 234, out of Valencia, California, transferred from Fresno State. 11 jacks, 43 RBIs on the season. A run producer for the Otters. Down in the zone, but a strike. 1-1's the count. Ball swung on and lifted to left field. Barely foul, clearly had the distance. Couldn't keep it inside the foul pole. Ball's hammered pretty good there, Max.
Yeah, he was on that curveball pretty well there. I think a fastball here might help screw up some timing.
Lugo Canchola trying to work his way out of a little jam here in the top of the first inning. The 1-2 offering. Hit into right field. Ninburn's up with it. The runner coming around third, going to try to score. The throw to the plate.
Let's go.
In time to gun down Quilici. What a throw by Ninburns from right field. Cal State Monterey Bay not happy with the call. Their coach is out to argue this one. Walt White, a legend for the Otters, but I don't know if he has much to argue. They're trying to say the tag was high. I don't know if it was. Ninburns keeps this game scoreless. We head to the bottom of the first.
Top of the first. The Rays of hits. 2 men left.
If you want to win in every arena of college life, go D2. Make it yours.
Leading off for the Nighthawks in the bottom of the first inning, number 21, right fielder, Lynn Burns, the second.
Well, after making an outstanding defensive play to end the top of the first, Nin Burns the second is going to lead off here for NNU. This kid's having a tremendous season. 349 batting average, a team-high 13 home runs. What an addition for Joe Schaefer's team this offseason.
Yeah, Nin's just an offensive powerhouse there for number one spot in the lineup there. I mean, just really sets the tone for the game.
Takes that pitch inside. On the mound for Cal State Monterey Bay, they're going with their ace right out of the gate too, Nate Rolichik. Some of the fans not liking that call, but Burns falls behind 1-2. Fouls that one off. Man, Burns stands almost right on top of the plate. That back foot right on that inside line. Crowds the box. Rolichek, 5-2 on the season, a 4.67 ERA. Burns chops one towards short. Ball bobbled, and Burns is going to reach safely to start the bottom of the first inning.
Now batting third base, number 7, Ryan Rojas.
Yeah, there's not a lot of turf fields out in California because of the nice weather, and so that might be something you see here from this Monterey Bay defense.
Yeah,
Got to come and charge that ball there, and he sat back on that, and I knew that was going to be a tough one for him.
So many good upgrades here to Vail Field over these last few years, and I'm not going to lie, Max, you're part of the reason why there is a turf field here, right? Your guys' success from that run in 2021, going to the World Series.
Yeah, I'm going to take the compliment, but during my recruiting process here, they said turf was coming, so we're excited to get this for the boys.
It's beautiful, though, and allows you to play springtime baseball here in the great state of Idaho. Brian Rojas chops one towards the infield.
Good hit and run on there.
Yeah, they like to put the game in motion. This is a team with 112 total stolen bases on the season.
The first baseman, number 8, Caleb Karpstein.
A little perspective there, NNU has only allowed 26 stolen bases, so these guys like to go. Yeah. So Rojas gets the job done, moving the runner over to second, and now you have Mr. 400, Caleb Karpstein, batting .401 on the season. Rolichek fires, catches the outside corner. Karpstein, a guy that really drives the ball the opposite way. Probably 70-75% of his hits have kind of been all in that opposite field direction. Had a big one to the left center gap last week, and to tie up the game against Point Loma, extend that thing long enough for the Nighthawks to come away with a late victory over the Sea Lions.
Yeah, it really is a pretty left-handed swing. I mean, he's a former teammate of mine. Just his work ethic is unmatched. I mean, it's great to see him have the success this year.
Inside, Burns is going to hold a second. So a 2-1 count for Karpstein. His teammates voted him the offensive MVP of this squad. Had a good freshman year, a little bit of a down year as a sophomore. But as you said, Max, put in the work, and now he's hitting .401. Almost lost his starting job at times, and, man, now has he proven he deserves to be in the starting lineup.
When he's around a 500 on-base percentage, too, and to have that out of the middle of the lineup is just something special. Always gives him a chance to get runners in scoring position. There's a good swing there. Just hung up a little bit.
Yeah, Quilici played perfectly, just shaded a little bit towards that left side of second base, able to track that one down easily, and now NNU has 2 outs with a runner on second base. Chris Enriquez coming up. Another guy that knows how to drive in some runs. 50 RBI on the season, ties a team lead. Can he get 51 here with 2 outs? Doesn't look like it's going to be able to be done, though. 1 pitch, 1 swing, out number 3, Rolichek. A quick work of the NNU Nighthawks here in the bottom of the first inning. We head to the second, tied at 0.
That's a timeout on Betty. It completely changed the game, and you didn't even notice. Let me break it down for you. Betting ads are applying full court pressure and getting you to play the game. Many of you are falling for it and losing big money. Addiction is happening in some more than others. Now players are getting harassed by bettors. And we all know that's not how the game is won. So it's on us to be good teammates and draw the line to stay ahead of betting consequences.
So it'll be the 6, 7, 8 hitters here for Cal State Monterey Bay in the top half of the second inning. Max showed up here about 90 minutes before first pitch. There was already a line outside. Paul Rush, the athletic director here at NNU, working with his facility crew, trying to bring in extra stands to accommodate what is now appears to be a sold-out crowd. I mean, I don't see an empty seat in the house right now.
Yeah, it's really fun to see the community come out here and support the boys. We really appreciate it, and I know it's fun as a player to look up and see these stands completely filled. Super awesome.
Cole Murchison steps into the box to lead off for the Otters here. Takes one up and in.
A foul ball there.
So they say they hit the knob of the bat or the batter.
I think he went around.
I believe it's an 0-2 count. Swung on and missed on the bender on the outside corner. The first strikeout of the game for Lugo Canchola, the 92nd of the season.
Yeah, he puts that breaking ball right there all day. It's going to be pretty tough to face Lugo Canchola.
Man, he cruised through the first two hitters in the top of the first inning, but then really kind of started to run into some trouble there. Back-to-back walks, but it seemed like his misses were pretty consistent, Max.
Yeah, they were consistently down, which as a pitcher, it's easy to make those small, minor adjustments. So consistency is really the key throughout the game, and you're going to have those small battles every inning, but he's composing himself really well, and I think he's going to go pretty deep into this game. Off-speed pitch there.
Maximiliano Farfan hitting .305 this season, 12 home runs, 55 RBI. Those 55 RBI actually a team high. Takes another strike on the outside corner, and now Canchola seems to have found his groove again.
Umpire's liking that outside corner. He's been calling that pretty consistently, so.
See if he stays there. Misses a little high this time, though. 2-2 the count on Fairfan. Swung on and missed. Back-to-back strikeouts for Lugo Canchola here in the top of the second inning.
Something that I noticed when looking at the scores for this Monterey Bay squad, they like to play some football, it seems like. They're not afraid to put up runs, and Lugo Canchola doing a pretty good job at keeping them at bay here. 2 quick outs again. Hopefully he can get this last out.
Oh and 1. Lugo Canchola back to working ahead in the count. Again, 93 strikeouts on the season. His next strikeout will tie Kyle Etheridge off that 2021 team for third most in a single season in program history. Etheridge still hanging around the park these days.
Yeah, he is, and I know that Kyle knows that number too. He's watching this game pretty close, and he knows it's going to get passed up. But
hit well to center field, but Carter Walsh has a beat on it. The Timberline High alumnus tracks it down with ease, and, well, kind of an easy 1-2-3 here for NNU in the top of the second inning. We head to the bottom of the inning here, coming up next.
On campuses nationwide, the NCAA is making transformative changes for student athletes. While they pursue their biggest dreams, we're launching new initiatives to help them. Life-changing education opportunities are just the start. The NCAA is providing enhanced mental health services. We're guaranteeing scholarships and tuition and expanding access to healthcare. Visit ncaa.org/change to learn more.
Still scoreless in game one of this best-of-3 series between Northwest Nazarene and Cal State Monterey Bay. Due up first for NNU, Casey Wayne, a .369 batting average on the season, and this guy had a monster GNAC tournament. They literally couldn't get him out, Max.
Yeah, having 8 walks and 2 home runs for 1,000 on-base percentage is pretty cool to watch. Had some music delay there, it looks like.
Wayne will step back into the box.
Casey Wayne had a pretty bold prediction back in, I think it was January to me. He said it's going to be pretty hard for this Nighthawk team to lose a series. And the only one they lost to all year was beginning of the year, Chico State. So he knew something we didn't, but we're excited to see Nighthawk baseball here at the end of May.
I mean, this Cal State Monterey Bay team is obviously very talented, but to your point, I mean, when you send a 1-2 punch of Lugo Canchola as well as Cole Calnon to the hill in a 3-game series, you like your chances. Casey Wayne gets that one to fall into shallow right field, and the Nighthawks have their leadoff hitter aboard early on. I just mentioned him, Cole Calnon. When you combine his record and Ernesto Lugo Canchola's record, 21-0 combined. The team record when either of those two take the hill, 24-2. And again, this is a 3-game series where both those guys are going to go game 1 in game 2. Calnon squares to bunt, fouls it, hits the net. Both times the NNU has had runners reach base. Joe Schaefer trying to kind of put the game in motion a little bit. You remember hit and run when Brian Rojas was up and Nin Burns reached to lead off the game. And now with Wayne on first, it's Calnon that squares to bunt. Now he's swinging and falls behind 0-2. Calnon, an All-American as well, hitting .302, 3 home runs, and as I mentioned, 10-0 as a pitcher. Whew. Rolacek thought he had strike 3 right there, but might have missed a little bit up.
Calnon, a little reaction, too. I think he's surprised he's still in the box. Maybe we can make something of it.
Tomorrow he's probably going to hope he gets that call. Right. Today, he'll take it, though. Swung on and hit towards the gap in left center field. Wayne on his horse, rounding third, and he's going to score, standing up with ease. Calnon delivers an RBI double, and the Nighthawks strike first.
Yeah, this bottom half of the lineup has been on fire. I mean, the last game last weekend really put up some numbers on this bottom part of the lineup, and they're continuing that into this weekend.
Calnon fell behind 0-2, got a little bit of a gift with that third pitch. It kept the bat alive, and boy, does he square one up to the power alley to put NNU in front. Gavin Brubaker now steps into the box, thinks about bunting, pulls it back. Ball one. Brubaker from near my neck of the woods. Grew up in Tacoma. I did. Brubaker went to Curtis High School, not too far from there. Gets a pitch, fouls it away. We go to 1-1. Brubaker, only a sophomore, hitting .314. Has started almost every game, only missed 2. 54 starts this season in 56 games. Ball bounces away, and Calnon is going to move up 90 feet. You know, one thing watching this NNU baseball team, Max, over these last few weeks, I've noticed they're really good with productive outs, right? Whether it be moving guys over, sacrifice flies, they're really good in these situations, not wasting outs.
Oh, absolutely. And then that situation there, call it a ball and dirt read. We practice that, Schaefer and the squad, on a daily basis. It is very important that we get those reads off this turf and take those extra bags when we can.
Rolacek misses inside, runs the count to 2-2 now. Check that, full count, 3-2. Rolacek wanted that one, but misses off the outside corner. The home plate umpire's been a little generous with the outside corner. Doesn't give it to Rolacek right there, and it's Brubaker that earns a free pass. The first 3 batters have now reached base in this inning for the Nighthawks.
One thing that's pretty common about California schools here is their trick plays with first and third. So they know that Brubaker has speed. I'm interested to see if they have something kind of put on here.
Brubaker, 12 of 16 on stolen base attempts this season. Carter Walsh, first pitch swinging, going to get out of play. A local kid out of Timberline High School. Had a fun chat with Carter earlier this week. You know, the season didn't necessarily get off to an ideal start for him, but another kid that just loves baseball, grinded his way back into the starting lineup, always plays a phenomenal center field, had a great West Regional last week, and a big reason why, you know, NNU suffered an injury in that game, and it's kind of forced them to reshuffle the deck a little bit in their outfield, but now you're going to see Carter Walsh pretty much as your starting center fielder the rest of the way. Runner goes, hit towards short. It's going to do the work, and a run comes in as Calnon scores. Carter Walsh, a productive out, grounding that one towards shortstop. They put the game in motion. Brubaker moves up to second to avoid the double play. So now you still maintain a runner in scoring position with only 1 out in the inning.
Yeah, that might be some of the fastest base runners we could have had there with Calnon at third, Brubaker in first, and Carter Walsh. I mean, those guys can absolutely fly. So that was a great move by Coach Schaefer there to put the hit and run in motion.
So 2-0 NNU, both runs coming here in the bottom of the second inning. Now the Nighthawks threatening to turn over the lineup. Their 9-hitter steps into the box. Drew Deal getting the start at catcher. Deal, another local kid from Idaho, hitting .250 on the season. Pokes that one towards right field. Under it with the catch. The runner's going to tag and move up to third with ease. Nice base running by Brubaker, and now we go ahead and head back to the top of the order for Burns.
Burns the second.
That speed again just showing itself here this inning.
Not much Noah Zertucci could do there in right field to prevent Brubaker from moving up to third base. Strike one to Burns. He's 0 for 1 today, reached on an error in the top of the first inning. Falls behind 0-2 now. Had that gorgeous throw in the top of the first to keep this thing scoreless. And now Burns gets right back up on top of the plate with 2 strikes on him. That one's going to get by the shortstop and into left field. Brubaker makes it 3-0 as he steps on home. A huge clutch 2-out base knock by Nin Burns II.
And you see Nin there with 2 strikes. He really shortens up and just becomes the ultimate team guy there with 2 strikes on him, and having that out of the leadoff guy is just huge. Coach White coming out.
Gonna have a meeting of the minds out on the mound with Brian Rojas and his .365 batting average, getting ready to step into the box with 2 outs here for NNU.
Yeah, you just saw that replay there. I mean, Nin Burns' front foot just doesn't move there. I mean, he's just looking to put the ball in play, make something happen.
I mean, this is a big point in this series. I know we're not even 2 full innings into this 3-game series, but right now NNU trying to get into that Cal State Monterey bullpen early in game 1. You can really start to affect games 2 and potentially games 3 if you can do that here this early in this series.
I'm looking at some of the stats from Monterey Bay. They have a couple guys that have been kind of hybrid pitchers with games started and games in relief. They're a really versatile bullpen over there, so they're going to put up a good fight this whole series, I can tell.
Rojas 0 for 1. Hit a chopper towards second in his first at-bat.
He's a guy who had a heck of a weekend, too, last weekend. 3 home runs. Just a spark plug for this offense in the 2-hole.
Lifted to center field. Quilici back to the track, to the wall. It's going to bounce off the wall. Burns rounding third. Rojas going into third. An RBI 2-out triple for Brian Rojas. NNU has hung 4 runs on the board against Rolacek here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Looked like Quilici had a beat on the ball, and this is the guy that made a play earlier this year, Max, that was number 1 on SportsCenter's top 10s, had 8 million views. The guy can go get it. Couldn't quite get that one right there.
Yeah, going up against a big batter's eye out there in center field. And one thing I've become accustomed to is when a ball gets in the air here at Elmore Vale Field, that flag out there in right, you just see where it's heading when there's something in the air. And you could tell that ball was just going to continue to go. And I think that's something that this Monterey Bay team has to get accustomed to quick.
One and one on Karpstein. Swings and misses at a pitch low and away. A 1-2 count. His batting average dipped just below 400, hitting .399 after getting out his first AB. Takes that pitch well away, 2-2.
Seems they've been throwing Karpstein away quite a bit. I don't really know the scouting report they have there, but that's going to be his bread and butter.
Yeah,
He just missed it in the last inning for another double.
I agree with you on that one. This is a guy that, again, seriously, I was talking to him yesterday prior to batting practice. I said, hey, Carp, like how many opposite fields, what percentage of opposite field hits do you have this season? He's probably 75 of my hits have gone the opposite way. Grounds that one off the pitcher's glove. Can Karpstein beat the throw to first? No, a nice play to end the inning by Javier Felix at second base, but still, NNU is able to get 4 runs here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. They take a 4-0 lead over Cal State Monterey Bay. Show you the defensive lineup here real quick for NNU, and I know that this is a group right here. Rojas at third, Calnon at second, Calnon at short, Brubaker at second, Karpstein at first. Speed all over the outfield. This is the guy. These are the guys that give the guy on the bump, Lugo Canchola, all the confidence in the world to just go out there and attack.
Absolutely. It's a 9-on-1 here every time a batter comes in, and I would love those 8 guys or 7 guys behind me there if I was on the mound.
Noah Zerducci's going to lead it off here for Cal State Monterey Bay, and he quickly finds himself behind the count 0-2. Thinks about it, takes it low.
It's a great 0-2 pitch there, Ernesto.
Wanted that one, misses barely off the outside black. 2-2 the count.
True Deal was working hard there to try to make that pitch a strike. The Nighthawks are 22-4 with him behind the dish, and that's just, says a lot about him as a catcher and the pitchers having the confidence to really throw whatever they want to him. It's worked out for him so far this season.
Zerducci fouls off the 2-2 pitch. Lugo Canchola going to climb back up on the slab. Goes from the windup. This is up and away, a full count. Strike 3 on the inside corner. Lugo Canchola with his 3rd strikeout today.
Number 37, Jimmy Garcia.
It's a great pitch there. Spotting up on that inside corner with the fastball too. That's a great spot for his breaking pitches, but to put a fastball right there too.
Great frame by Deal behind the dish. Lugo Canchola going to the other side of home plate now for strike 1. Jimmy Carter back into the box here as Cal State Monterey Bay resets their order way up and not away to the backstop for ball 1.
Looking into the Nighthawk dugout, I see Etheridge with a smile on his face. I think that might have been the strikeout to do it and pass him up.
High fly ball to center field. Plenty of room, though, for Walsh.
Now batting the third baseman, number 10, Jacob Dressler.
Carter Walsh, an absolutely great defender, but back to his work ethic, which I've said so much about so many players on this team. You could go into that indoor hitting facility and you could probably see his size foot right there on the batter's box. That guy is in there all the time, and it shows. They're not hurting with Arachiga out. Next guy up.
It's a great mentality for you to have if you are a Nighthawk, but just for the outsiders looking in, Arachiga, when he was hurt, he had 50 RBI. That ties the team lead so far this season. I mean, he was a tremendously productive player for the Nighthawks, and it was last weekend he hit a home run, and while going into the dugout, you figure it might have happened on the celebration, unfortunately, but he hurt himself, and now he's out for the rest of the season. Burns going into the fence, actually going to catch it right along the foul line for out number 3. So ever since back-to-back walks by Lugo Canchola in the top of the first inning, he has been making quick work of Cal State Monterey Bay. Here's this play by Nin Burns, a guy that just does it all. Hits with power, hits for average, can run, and obviously can field. He's made that catch. We saw him earlier in this game, gun down the runner at home, and now NNU gets a chance to add to their lead as we head to the home half of the third.
Designated hitter, number 38, Chris Enriquez.
Back here at Vale Field, we are streaming live on NNUsports.com as well as on KTVB Plus. Here comes Chris Enriquez. Oh for 1 today. First pitch swinging for the second straight at-bat. Swings through that one. Transfer out of Tarleton State.
Tarleton State, that's where now third base coach Grant Cary went after his stint here with NNU, and got on the coaching staff last year, called Chris Enriquez up, said, hey, we got a spot for you, who had 1 year of eligibility left at the D2 level. That
hit well to left field. Will it carry? It does! Chris Enriquez leaves the yard to left field.
Now batting right field, number 27, Casey Wade.
Home run number 6 makes it 5-0 NNU. You mentioned the flag that's right above the scoreboard and right, kind of blowing out towards left field right now. And when that's the case, the ball really carries out towards left field. Struck well by Enriquez, though. NNU kind of having their way with Rolacek. And like I said, this is a guy that has been on the minds of these Nighthawks for about the last 365 days or so. He was the one that ended their postseason hopes last year. But right now, NNU getting the best of him this year. Cut on and miss. High fastball. Swings right through it to fall behind 1-2. Paints the outside corner. Rolacek gets the strikeout.
Now batting the shortstop, number 4, Cole Calnon.
That's that pitch again right there. It's kind of been 50-50 all day. It's Casey Wayne there, but good to know on both sides there that you got to protect at that spot.
So here comes Calnon. He got the scoring started really last inning, an RBI double to the gap. That was the first run of the game for NNU, and since then they've kind of poured it on. Takes that one right down the middle to even the count at 1-1. Fouled off, straight back. 1-2 is the count.
Calnon, a big-time competitor. I mean, he keeps his emotions in check really well, being, captain of the infield at the shortstop area there, and then also a starting pitcher. I mean, you kind of have to, but this guy does it better than anyone, keeping his emotions in check.
Another foul.
Just a true gamer.
Watching him last weekend, there was a time in the game where he made 3 straight plays at shortstop. A couple of them, he went deep in the hole to make a really nice play and throw the runner out at first. And then the following day, he goes out and throws 6 2/3 innings, only gives up 2 earned runs, had 5 no-hit innings leading into that. And, I mean, his usage, it's got to be off the charts, but he's just always up for it. Hard line out to center field for out number 2. And again, he's going to be the guy that gets the ball tomorrow.
Yeah, and a lot of people just don't understand what that takes for your body to go through that week in and week out. And he does a great job keeping himself healthy and just always in shape and ready for the moment.
Brubaker swung on and missed. He earned a walk in his first at-bat, eventually came around to score on a Carter Walsh ground out. Rolacek misses, low and away. Comes right back at Brubaker, who fouls it off. They call this place NNU two-way U because of how many guys they have that can play both offense, defense, and, well, I guess three-way, but no, two-way, but also pitch, right? Brubaker to the gap. But Cal State Bakersfield is able to run it down. Vertucci with the nice grab to end the inning. But what I was going to say really quick is that Brubaker might be the next guy that is able to both play in the field as well as pitch. We'll get to more on that here in a minute. But NNU strikes again. A solo shot by Chris Enriquez makes it 5-0 in favor of the Nighthawks.
#27, KW Polici.
So we head to the top of the fourth inning here at Vail Field. NNU has built a 5-0 lead over Cal State Monterey Bay. Ernesto Lugo Canchola continuing to cruise through a really talented Otter order, but this is the best part of it that he's going to face right here. 3, 4, and 5 due up for Cal State Monterey Bay. Quilici followed by Felix and Shepard. Here in the top half of the fourth. Bender right over the outside corner, strike one. Another curveball, must have missed low. It's interesting at the major league level, they kind of have done some things to prevent extreme shifting, right, by the defensive alignment of infielders. A check swing, no go by Quilici. Doesn't apply to D2 baseball because right now you see the shortstop, second baseman, and first baseman obviously all on that right side of second base.
Yeah, one thing I will say about Matthew Hollett, who does a very good job at scouting each team that they face, I mean, he has a game plan.
I think everybody on the field thought that was strike three except the home plate umpire. Even Quilici seemed like he was taking a step back to the dugout. He'll take it, though, as the count runs full.
Yeah, I don't know what he was looking at there. There we go.
Fastball swung on and missed by Quilici.
Talk about keeping emotions in check. Ernesto there just not even fazed by that. Everyone in the ballpark knew that was strike three the pitch before, but goes right back at it and throws a great quality pitch to get the strikeout anyway.
Pretty cool to see this kid, you know, really find himself in what is his final year of college, out of eligibility after this year. And eligibility is such a funny thing at the NCAA level right now because it seems like you can petition and win just about anything these days. But from what we know right now, Lugo Canchola out of eligibility once this season is over. But, you know, he's pitched at a couple of different schools. Was at Utah last year, used primarily out of the pen. This year he winds up as a starter here at NNU, and he's just been nothing short of phenomenal.
Yeah, something I'll add to that, and also to what I was saying before about Coach Matthew Hollett being an excellent game planner. I came here to NNU as a starter out of junior college. I was in his office more than anybody, complaining about being in the back end until I realized how good we were, and that was the right place for me. He seemed to see that before anyone did, and looks like it's kind of the opposite here for Ernesto finding his way in the starting role. Halla just has an eye for these things.
By the way, with that last strikeout, he has officially put Kyle Etheridge in the rearview mirror. 95 on the season, the third most in a single season here at NNU. Two and one the count. Javier Felix up for Cal State Monterey Bay. Swung on and missed. Ernesto's had quite a few swing and misses today.
Yeah, as you were kind of saying that his fastball was his most comfortable pitch last weekend, he's really finding his way with his off-speed pitches as well. As one bounces. 5 feet in front of home plate.
54 pitches for Lugo Canchola with one out here in the top of the fourth inning. Felix fights that one off to stay alive. Felix walked his first at bat. The 3-2 pitch by Lugo Canchola. Up high, checks his swing, he'll head to first base.
Now batting the DH.
Felix has now walked in both of his at-bats. It looked like Cal State Monterey Bay was going to grab early momentum when Jaden Shepard stepped into the box with a runner on second base and lined a ball towards Nin Burns in right field with 2 outs in the top of the first inning, but Burns erased the runner at the plate. It remains scoreless, and it has been all NNU since. Shepard doesn't like that pitch call down low, but he falls behind 0-1.
Yeah, and on that note, the pitch before was about 10 feet from being a 3-run home run out of Shepard down the left field line.
Good point. Hit an absolute bomb that just went foul. Now he hammers one towards right field, gets under it though, and so does Nin Burns. That's out number 2 in the fourth.
Cole Murchison.
One hit, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts through 3 2/3 here for Lugo Canchola. Another lefty on lefty matchup as Cole Murchison steps into the box 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Lugo Canchola can't buy that pitch on the outside corner. Murchison works a 1-0 count. 8 home runs, 40 RBIs, a .333 batting average for Murchison this season. Fouls it off of his foot. Maybe his shin, doesn't wear that protective guard on that lead foot either. We'll say rocking some pretty sick Jordan cleats, but trying to walk this one off.
Coach White coming out to check on his guy. We were talking earlier about that big-time play from center field earlier in the season from, is it Kulichi?
Kulichi, yes.
Kulichi, yeah. The video I saw was last weekend. They let Coach Walt White here stick the sticker on the little bracket they had that showed the Otters coming out here to NNU, and he was very fired up. He had his whole team behind him, and you can just tell that these guys love playing for Coach White.
Yeah, he's had so much success in 15-plus seasons as the head coach here. 445 wins. Might as well just name the Coach of the Year award after him. He's won it so many times. They've won at least 30 games in 9 of the 14 full seasons that Walt White has been the head coach of the Otters, including the last 6 in a row. Again, they're knocking on the door of a school record. They have 39 wins. That ties the all-time mark. They previously achieved that mark in 13, 18, 23, and 24. 3 straight seasons with at least 39 wins.
You're talking about a conference, too, that I believe, I could be wrong here, but has gone to the World Series more than any conference out of the West.
Yeah, I don't even know if you need to throw arguably in front of it, but it seems like the premier conference out West. Bender misses off the outside corner. We get a full count again. 63 pitches for Lugo Canchola so far. Check that, 68 pitches. Runner going, doesn't matter, obviously with the full count, and Karpstein handles it with ease himself for out number 3 here in the top of the 4th inning. Cal State Monterey Bay still searching for their first run. So NNU has worked their way into the Cal State Monterey Bay pen. Dylan Gardner now into the game. And a familiar face, a familiar name if you're an Idaho baseball fan.
Yeah, Dylan Gardner out of Bora High School here, and he was actually my former teammate on the Canyon County Spuds for the Summer League Expedition League. And he was just a freshman back then, but he's worked himself into a pretty successful college career so far. So fun little homecoming for him. I'm sure he's got family in the stands.
Fires, strike 1. Earned 3 varsity letters in baseball at Bora High School. As Carter Walsh smashes one towards shortstop, but an easy put out here
Number 2, Drew Deal.
to start the bottom of the 4th.
I'd like to know their history. I'm sure they faced each other.
Honestly, I'm going right. I'm trying to get back through Gardner's history here. Now, it looked like his senior year would have been a COVID year. So there's a potential, though, that him and Carter Walsh have faced off. Carter went to Timberline. Dylan went to Bora High. Those are 2 rivals. But getting back to Gardner really quick, after Bora High School, went to Big Bend Community College, then found himself at Arizona State, landed in the Sun Devils bullpen, made 8 appearances for them, then transferred to Utah Tech, and now he's at Cal State Monterey Bay. Used to be an anomaly to see any athlete play for 4 colleges in their career, but it's fairly common now with the transfer rules. Gardner makes quick work of Drew Deal, another Idaho kid.
Gardner's 6'5". I mean, he uses all those levers and everything. I mean, just watching, he looks a little more composed now than he was as a freshman on my team, but kind of uses his body. What do we got here?
He's 4-1 on the season. He started just as many games as he's appeared in relief. A 4.20 ERA. Rocks and fires, misses high, but you can hear the snap of that glove. Big righty misses inside now.
He was up to 90 as a freshman. Looks like he's right around that today.
Really interesting to see Nin kind of just go to work. Count now 2-1. When he's ahead in the count, stays a little bit off the plate, falls behind in the count. Man, he gets like right up on the dish. Swings and misses. Right through that one. Nin looking for his 14th long ball of the season, and now at 2 strikes, you see him get right up on that line. And he will single into left field, almost an identical at-bat that he experienced last time. He has reached base in all 3 of his at-bats. First one by an error, the last 2 by singles into left.
Just to get that kind of production out of the top of the lineup there, first guy up, is, again, just really sets this team up for success.
His 21st multi-hit game in 57 games this season. That leads NNU. Here comes Rojas. Strike 1 on the outside corner. Paints the black with the fastball. Nin Burns always a threat to run at first base. 16 stolen bases on 22 opportunities this season. And there he goes. The throw down to second. Burns in with his 17th stolen base.
Gets Nin that much closer to scoring a run, which he broke the single season record for, and he's looking to go after that GNAC record I think he's a couple away from.
Fouled away by Rojas. Actually, you bring that up, and with the run he scored last inning, Nin Burns ties the GNAC all-time single-season record. 67 runs scored this season.
And that stat there is also credited to the 2 guys behind him, Rojas and Karpstein. I mean,
ball bounces. Burns thinks about it, but decides to hold on. A great play by Dominic Felice to keep that one in front of him and prevent Burns moving up 90 more feet. So a 2-2 count on Rojas. Hitting .366 this season. 1 for 2 with an RBI triple in this game. Ball lifted.
gonna go foul.
It'll work his way into the stands. Down the left field foul line. Over where they're building the new baseball facility here at NNU.
Yeah, I heard a rumor. I don't know if it's true or not, but I think that building over there down the line was supposed to be tore down Monday. But with the Nighthawks' success, they're thinking, let's have another weekend for the alumni to hang out over there.
Hey, good problems to have, right? There goes Burns. Slides into third on the low pitch. He runs to third, and Rojas will walk to first. Runners on the corners for Karpstein with 2 outs. So after Gardner quickly retires the first 2 batters here in the bottom of the 4th inning, the next 2 reach base safely for Karpstein, the 3-hitter for NNU. Fastball away. Karpstein fouls it away. Ever since they moved him into the 3-hole max, NNU is 20-3.
Seem to see a pattern here with 20 and then a low amount of losses with every stat we come up with.
Pretty much any regular for NNU. Ball lifted to left field, just shy of the warning track. Gliding over to make the catch is Jimmy Garcia for the third and final out of the inning. NNU strands 2. They still lead 5-0 as we make our way to the 5th inning.
Farfan.
Maximiliano Farfan will lead off for Cal State Monterey Bay as Ernesto Lugo Canchola will look to continue cruising through the Otters lineup. Lugo Canchola came into this game with a 2.1 ERA. It is now down to an even 2. "70 pitches, through 4, working his way into the 5th. Falls behind the leadoff batter here, 2-0.
Yeah, we're taking a look at that pitch count. Little high, but at this late in the year, I mean, you got a guy on the mound who's as good as anybody. I don't really know if that number makes a whole lot of, or gives him a reason to come out. I mean, this late in the year, if he feels good, he's going to go.
Nice play by Brubaker. He was shaded just to the left side of second base, still able to handle that high hopper and get the throw off. We'll show you a replay here. Again, that's the second baseman, shaded to the left side of second base and makes a strong throw over to first, where Karpstein is able to catch it for the first out here in the top half of the 5th inning.
Played the turf well there, knowing immediately that he had to come and charge that ball, and it was going to be a close play. Another pitch there where the crowd is a little confused on where that missed.
Either way, Dominic Felice will take it. 0 for 1 on the day, but a 1-0 count for the catcher. A fly ball to center field. Back goes Carter Walsh. For out number 2, makes the grab.
Now batting, the right fielder, number 13, Noah Zertici.
Got a pretty good piece of that baseball. Again, it's kind of a twitch for me to look at that flag, and I see it wasn't really too windy at the moment of that, and so I knew it was going to stay in the ballpark. Walsh did a great job getting a beat on it.
A beautiful day here in Nampa, Idaho. Zertucci swings at the first pitch, and it's going to be Carter Walsh that settles under this one. Again, second straight out that he's recorded, the third out of the inning, and NNU just breezes through the top half of the 5th inning. They lead 5-0 in Game 1 of this best-of-3 series, with the winner heading to the D2 College Baseball World Series.
NCAA athletes don't just compete, they make history. Representing our nation with pride and excellence, they bring home the hardware. Our college campuses serve as training grounds for the next generation of stars. Catch tomorrow's Olympians and Paralympians on the NCAA Championship stage today.
Bottom half of fifth. Designated hitter, number 38, Chris Enriquez.
We are halfway home here at Vale Field, a 5-0 advantage in favor of the Nighthawks. Their 4-hitter, Chris Enriquez, will lead this one off. Hit a solo shot, hammered one over the wall to straightaway left field, his last at-bat. Takes an off-speed pitch away.
Nighthawks 25-3 this year when they hit at least one home run. So we have that home run checked off from Chris Enriquez.
Skies this one. Looks like this one's going to get back into the stands.
Looks like everyone's okay.
And everyone's okay. All right. You know, it's interesting. The way that they've built the backstop here at Vale Field, it is high. Like, you rarely see a ball actually be able to get into the stands right behind home plate. It's actually funny. I was talking with Josh Burkholder, sports information director here at NNU, about it last week. I don't know if I've ever seen one. That literally might be the first one I've seen.
Best net in the GNAC, what us players used to call it.
A 1-2 pitch, misses low. This NNU team has scored a school record 437 runs this season. Balanced throughout the lineup. Pretty much anybody can steal a base. Pretty much anybody can leave the yard. Not going to lie, Enriquez a little bit better about leaving the yard than taking bags, but he's 3 for 3 this season. You know? I feel like I got to know what those 3 are, by the way. Was he the trail runner and a double steal? I don't know. Swung on and missed. Gardner gets the strikeout here to start the bottom of the 5th. Felice going over to the dugout here. Might have an equipment issue. Not sure what's going on. Put his mask back on, trot back over behind the home plate, and pop a squat here as we'll resume play. Casey Wayne, 1 for 2 today. Struck out his last at-bat, but kind of got that rally going back in the 2nd inning with that bloop single to right field. Another guy that's been asked to step up lately. Playing time was sparse early in this season, but he's seen more of late. Making his 17th start of the season today. Cal State Monterey Bay has some big kids on their roster. 6'4", 6'5". Wayne would fit right in with them. Another big kid.
Yeah, Shepard at 6'6" for him. Yeah.
Ball misses away. Loved it yesterday, again, at batting practice. Both these teams got a chance to get in the cages, then out on the field. But, man, Casey had the scouting report just dialed in. Guys were asking him about what they were going to face this weekend, and he basically knew every answer. So he chops that one foul. We mentioned his performance at the GNAC tournament earlier tonight. Well, he had 2 home runs in one game, and he only had 2 home runs in the entire season prior to that game. A memorable effort for him in Ellensburg. Swings and misses. Ball's going to kick away. It gets down the 3rd baseline, and Casey Wayne is going to reach.
So batting the shortstop, number 4, Cole Calnon.
Saw kind of a head tilt out of Casey Wayne there. You know, not the best way to get on base, but it works this inning.
I know. It's funny. You say that you'll take any way that you can reach, right? That might be the worst way, though. A check swing on a pitch down and away. That works all the same.
Nighthawks again with speed on the bases. It's going to be kind of pretty much everyone who gets on base for this team.
Wayne is a little sneaky quick, kind of long levered, a long strider, but he can move. Gardner delivers strike 1 to Cole Calnon. kind of mentioned this earlier, how NNU has earned the reputation of two-way U. Well, Cole Calnon's a big reason why. You're starting shortstop, and basically your ace / number 2. I don't know. Ernesto's 1A. Cole's probably 1B, but they're right there together.
Yeah.
You have Gavin Brubaker on deck, and I'm told like he could be the next guy. This is what I was going to mention this earlier, but he's a guy that sits like right at 89, 90 miles an hour apparently. He's still throwing bullpens just in case, but I think next year you're going to see Gavin Brubaker step into that two-way U role here for the Nighthawks.
Yeah, and he got a couple innings last year as well. And, I mean, Rojas, too, last year. Not as much this year. Had kind of some shoulder stuff going on, but
I think also what I was told with Rojas, you know what, he's swinging it so well, and they've found whatever they need on the hill. Hey, just don't mess with it right now. Keep letting him swing the stick.
That's
a
kind of
shallow fly ball. Is it going to get down? It does.
Great read from Casey Wayne going first to third on that. Didn't even hesitate. That's just a smart baseball player there.
Zertucci had to go a long way for that one, and you could even see Javier Felix try to get back there and help him out, but it just falls down really in no man's land. And after hitting an absolute rocket for an RBI double in his first at-bat, Cole Calnon gets a little blooper to fall into right, but hey, it works. Looks like a line drive in the scorebook, and now with one out, NNU has runners on the corners with Brubaker stepping into the box and NNU threatening again. Squares to bunt, fouls it straight back. What do you think he's looking to do right there, Max, with runners on the corners?
He's trying to get it over to the first base side there with speed everywhere, and if he puts that perfectly placed, I mean, there's a chance everyone could be safe there. I wouldn't be surprised if Schaaf tried it again.
First baseman forced to hold the runner at first. So unless he's able to crash hard, you're going to be asking the pitcher probably to bounce off the mound and make a play.
And Brubaker, another batter with speed. I'm told by the team that if he had a little better running form, he might be a Division I track star somewhere, but still gets it done.
That one's going to get through right field, past the second baseman, an RBI single by Gavin Brubaker. I tell you, that is the kind of the hallmark, not only of this team, but really the Joe Schaefer era. This team is tremendous at working the ball the other way.
Absolutely, this bottom of the lineup continuing. Yeah, you see the replay there, just a great piece of hitting. Not trying to do too much, just getting the run in.
Very simple.
This bottom half of the lineup continuing their success from even last weekend.
You were talking about how the kid's stepping into the box right now. Carter Walsh works so hard, gets out of the way of that one. He gets to the backstop, and now he's got two runners in scoring position. Brubaker to second, Calnon to third. You showed up and watched this team a little earlier in the season, though. Walsh was making this really exaggerated movement kind of with his stride foot, right? And I asked him about that, and he said, hey, you know what, he just had a tough time kind of creating rhythm, tempo, whatever it was. And so he was really exaggerating that even in game. And now he's gone away from it because he feels like he's created that. But, hey, the results are there. Batting average now back up to 270. Had a couple of multi-hit games in the West Regional last week. And has a 2-0 count right here with two runners in scoring position.
Yeah, and he's the type of competitor. I mean, freshman of the year last year, kind of what they call that sophomore slump. I would not be surprised if he's in the talk of GNAC Player of the Year next year, just with that work ethic. I think he's going to get a lot of reps this summer and come back as continuing to be just a big spark plug for this Nighthawk offense.
2-1 pitch by Gardner. Misses down, it scoots away, not far enough though for the runners to advance. His senior year of high school, Carter Walsh, again, speaking of two-way use, a guy that they really could use on the mound here in the future, but he threw in high school, was a pitcher. In his senior year, he wore a face mask, like common to what you would see softball players wear. Do you know why?
I do not. I didn't hear about that.
Okay, I found this out just this last week. I asked him about it. He was catching a bullpen, and actually there was a ball that skipped up and hit him in the jaw, and it broke his jaw.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, right. Wow, right? I don't even know. I don't know if he told anybody this story. I just kind of found it out this last week. So he wanted to still pitch, but he needed to protect his broken jaw, so he wore that face mask, right? And I asked him, he's telling me the story in front of Joe Schaefer, his head coach here at NNU, and he looked and he said, yeah, I never told you this because I was afraid that you would get turned off and not offer me my scholarship or not honor my scholarship, right? Kept a secret from his coach. It was a good secret to keep because now he's at NNU making a big impact here for the Nighthawks. Fouls away another 2-strike pitch.
I think I read, too, he's a 4-year varsity player. So, I mean, all you have to do is look back at the stats. You see the trajectory. I remember looking at it one time. It's got better and better each year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this has kind of been just a little mental struggle for him. This might be the first year where he's kind of taken a small step back. That's why I think he's going to have a breakout year next year. Going to be huge for this postseason run the Nighthawks are on.
Making life difficult on Gardner right now. He has tried to put him away 4 straight times with 2 strikes, and Walsh has fouled off all of them. Still only 1 out. In the home half of the 5th, NNU already has 1 here in this inning. Can they add more? The 3-2 pitch on the way, misses high, and Walsh is not going to trot down to first. Certainly looked like he checked his swing, but that is going to be strike 3.
Now batting the catcher, number 2, Drew Deal.
I don't know if we can get another look at that here in a second. Maybe after this first pitch here to Drew Deal.
Yeah, me and first base coach Eric Lopez are really good friends. I'm going to pin that on him. He might have been in the umpire's way there. That's the only really reason why I could see that call was made.
Strike 1 right there to Deal.
So that's on you, Eric. We'll talk about it over coffee tomorrow morning.
Seemed like Walsh really earned that one, but he goes back to the dugout. Gardner will take it. Trying to get out of a jam, limit some damage here in the bottom of the 5th. It's already given up 1. Cal State Monterey Bay trailing 6-0. Deal off the end of the bat.
That might fall.
And it's going to get down. Quilici tried to charge hard and make the play, but it falls down in front of him, and 2 runners are going to score. A 2-out knock by Drew Deal, the pride of Homedale, Idaho.
Now batting the right fielder, number 21, Nick Burns, the second.
Quilici is one heck of a center fielder, charged hard for that thing, but just couldn't close ground quick enough. And 2 more runs come across. NNU on the verge of blowing this thing out.
Here's that check swing earlier. Walsh.
Oh, that wasn't even close.
Yeah.
That wasn't even close.
Baseball gods do reward.
Hey, ball don't lie. And now you see Drew Deal coming up. A big 2-out RBI single. 8-0 NNU. And again, the Nighthawks continuing to try to eat away at that Otters bullpen here in Game 1. The way this works, if you win tonight and you win tomorrow, you are headed to Cary, North Carolina and the Division II Baseball World Series. If there's a split, there's an if necessary Game 3 Saturday at 2 o'clock. Excuse me, Saturday at 6 o'clock.
Coach White out there to talk with pitcher Dylan Gardner. I mean, if we had a track man here could add up the exit velocity on some of these hits the Nighthawks have got this inning, I don't know if it reaches 100. So Dylan Gardner missing barrels like pitchers are supposed to do, but it just has not rolled his way this inning.
Nin Burns offers at a high fastball, swings through it, falls behind 0-1. He already has a pair of hits in this game. He's reached base in all 3 of his at-bats. Now hitting .353 on the season. There goes Deal. The throw wide. It's going to go into center field, and Deal is going to head for third.
I was going to say, Drew Deal is a very sneaky runner. He's not very fast, but a very smart base runner, and he's shown that.
He kind of took a really aggressive secondary. Didn't get like a great jump off the initial move by the pitcher. But that's his 9th stolen base in 10 attempts, and he gets a free pass to move on up to third on the air by the catcher. Felice throwing it into center field. So now with another runner in scoring position, we'll see if Nin Burns the second can give NNU even more insurance. Lifted high towards left center field.
That's one that's probably
Caring. Gone! Nin Burns leaves the yard. His 14th round tripper of the season gives NNU a 10-0 lead. A phenomenal season for Burns continues.
Ryan Rojas.
See Lugo Canchola down in the dugout, still hopping around. An extended inning here. He's trying to stay warm, but he'll take it. 4 more runs across. Rojas.
Off the wall.
Off the wall. That ball is just carrying out there. I really thought that Garcia was going to have a chance to float under that thing, but just misses it as it hits off the St. Luke's sign. And now Rojas has a triple and a double in this game. Your table setters for NNU in this lineup tonight, Rojas and Burns, 5 for 7. And they've reached base in 6 of 7 opportunities. Karpstein 0 for 3, trying to get in on the hit party here. Swings and misses. Pitch down and in. Rojas going to stay at second.
They've kept Karpstein kind of at bay this game, but the rest of the offense is really chugging along. So when Karpstein's due, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we had a Karpstein double here.
Look for that left center gap. Fouls it straight back into the net. Only a handful of hitters have hit 400 over a full season here at NNU. Karpstein trying to join that elite group. Count runs to 2-2.
His patience at the plate too is just amazing. I mean, that's why his on-base percentage is so high also. Just really does a good job of executing the plan he has in the box there, not getting outside of himself.
Karpstein runs the count full. Current updated average, you can see it on your screen right there, 394. Came in hitting 401, 0 for 3 today, trying to reach base for the first time in this game. A liner gets down right in front of the left fielder Garcia, and here comes Rojas to score. A 2-out knock by Karpstein. Again, going the other way. Inside-out swing, perfect line drive, gets down 11-0 NNU.
Looks like that's going to be all for Gardner. Again, he started this inning not giving up a whole lot. We'll take a look at Karpstein's swing here. Just a beautiful left-handed swing.
You know, you mentioned this earlier, though, again, attacking him away, and that just kind of, it seems like it kind of plays into what he wants to do at the plate. It's not like he's a guy that dives, you know, out over the plate to try to drive it the other way, but he always just keeps his hands inside the baseball. Really good at hitting
And this
hitting the ball the other way.
Yeah, this park plays to that strength too. I mean, especially on a day like today, if he gets something elevated and can put it over. I mean, that Nighthawk there in left center is not safe. That thing has gotten pelted all season long from Karpstein doubles.
Now pitching for the Otters, number 5, Daniel Flores.
So we got another pitching change. It'll be the third arm to trot out to the mound. For Cal State Monterey Bay, they continue to search for answers, and NNU trying to do some damage by getting into that bullpen here in game 1. You can really affect the rest of the series with what they're doing right here.
Coach White is, again, he's been in playoff games before. I would like to assume he's saving some of his bullpen arms.
Especially at this point, probably, right? Flores is a sophomore, again, a California native. You look at his season numbers, and, well, you mentioned that, only 14 and a third innings pitched this season. He's appeared in 9 games. 8 of those opportunities have been in relief. His ERA, 9.42. So, yeah, you're exactly right. We have not seen some of the top arms really even close out of the pen, and what Coach White has at his disposal for the Otters today.
And there's a great opportunity for those guys in the bullpen too, because if you have success against this very hot NNU offense, I mean, that creates a lot of confidence that can lead into next season and even in the summer for these guys that are playing summer ball. But a good opportunity for them to use this as a learning experience and hopefully build some of that confidence.
Some crooked numbers on the scoreboard for NNU today. 6 here in the 5th. They scored 4 back in the 2nd. They also had that single run scored in the 3rd. 11-0 Northwest Nazarene. 12 hits for the Nighthawks, only 1 for Cal State Monterey Bay. I could have predicted the 12 hits for NNU. I'm not sure that I could have predicted only 1 hit for the Otters. So far tonight, their lineup has been so good all season long. They haven't had answers tonight.
Yeah, and you talk about that, NNU is 34-3 when they out-hit their opponent this season. So got into the 30s with that number, but again, a low number in the loss column there.
The 1-0 pitch to Chris Enriquez. He's already homered today. They call that one a strike. Huh. Seemed a little low and in. Enriquez kind of shakes that one off. Refocuses. Fouls one straight back.
Chris Enriquez helped me coach a local travel team this fall. I got to meet him and Ernesto and Nin, all 3 of them. And I could just tell by the way they were talking to those high school players that they were going to be ball players for this NNU ball club.
Man, all 3 of those guys have just made such a impact on this roster this year. Ball fouled away. Another thing here about Chris, everybody says I work at a local TV station, KTVB. I've been out covering the Nighthawks a bunch lately, and everybody keeps trying to tell me I got to talk to Chris. Funniest guy on the team, apparently.
Oh, yeah, he's a crack-up. I heard he's a very good golfer, too. I don't know, some of the players might knock me on that. He told me he was a good golfer, so we'll leave it at that. I've never seen him play, but definitely just a great guy to be around, a great energy in the dugout that has shown this season.
Yeah. I'm a great golfer, too. Just don't ask any of my friends or my dad.
Right.
You know, then you might find out the truth. Two-two pitch. Swung on and missed off the outside corner. So you have Flores that comes in with a runner on, and the cleanup hitter at the plate gets a swing and miss to get out of the inning, but the damage is done. NNU hang 6 more runs on the scoreboard in the bottom of the 5th. They lead 11-0.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
Jimmy Garcia.
Wow, it seems like a while since we last saw Ernesto Lugo Canchola out on the mound, but last time we did, we were talking, his pitch count was running up there, and then at the top of the fifth, he only needs 6 pitches to get to 3 outs, and now that pitch count kind of back on track. 75 total pitches for the senior southpaw as we head into the 6th inning here.
One thing that the fans here at Vail Stadium can hear is a little bell go off. If the Nighthawks put up a run and then throw up a 0, I think Joe Schaefer's in charge of that bell. He goes and rings it for winning that inning. And so hopefully Canchola can get another bell rung here.
Lugo Canchola's ERA now sub 2 on the season, 1.98. Comes right back at him, gets the glove in the way, but the runner is going to reach as Garcia leads off the top of the 6th inning with a single. They're going to go look at Lugo Canchola, make sure he's okay. He's kind of pointing at that, what would you call it, the guys wear? It's their communication device.
I know the brand is like PitchCom is the one that the pros use. I don't know if that's the necessary brand, but that's what I call as a PitchCom, because it's telling them which pitches are coming up, and everybody on the infield has one, so they know what's going on. But I'm wondering if that thing got shattered.
Yeah.
I know they have a couple extra, luckily. So
send the bill to Paul Rush, the athletic director here at NNU. The good news is that Lugo Canchola appears to be just fine. He wears that on his glove hand right above his glove, so maybe it actually kind of protected his wrist there, maybe.
Yeah.
But that is the communication device that, these guys all wear these days. That's something that over these last few years, part of, call it the evolution of the game, and not only does the pitcher wear one, but yes, all the position players wear one, and you can see them kind of peeking at it right before a pitch. And I remember back in my day, which was many, many days ago, Max, but you'd have to try to look in and see what the pitcher was signaling so you could kind of get a read on it from center field or maybe one of those middle infield positions. But now all that stuff is communicated straight to your wrist, so all these guys know exactly where they want to shade, what they want to do, before Ernesto even puts that ball into his glove to deliver it to home plate.
Yeah, and it used to be, kind of a skill. It'd give us bullpen guys something to do throughout the game, peek in at what coach is doing with signs and trying to find a way to help a ball club. I've picked a couple in my day, but now, I don't think that would be even an option anymore.
No. Another thing that it does, it also helps expedite the game.
Right.
Makes communication super efficient, and that's been a huge emphasis on whether it be pro ball, college ball, or really any level. Trying to speed up the game in certain areas. 1-2 pitch here. Dressler fouls it off down the right field line. He's 0 for 2 today. Still hitting .314 on the season. Not a lot of power, but this guy sure knows how to get on base. Towards Calnon at short. They're going to try to turn 2, and they do. Calnon to Brubaker, over to Karpstein. 2 outs now in the top of the 6th.
Something they've done well all year long. Those two up the middle just have a great chemistry. When Calnon goes to the mound, Brubaker fills in his position most of the time, and they just have a great rhythm.
85th pitch of the ball game by Ernesto. Apparently misses a little bit high. He's only allowed 2 hits in this game. 3 walks. Most of those occurred back in the first inning. 4 strikeouts. Again, that one gets away from him. Misses up and in. Quilici has been quiet so far in this game. 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. That pitch misses up and in. 3-0.
See, this is where the kind of small adjustments throughout the game happen. Those pitches were up. Earlier in the game, he was missing low.
That one goes off the end of Drew Deal's glove for ball 4, and Quilici is aboard for the second time on a free pass. The 4th walk of the evening for Lugo Canchola overall. And now it'll be the cleanup hitter, Javier Felix for Cal State Monterey Bay. Yet to record an official at-bat in this game because he's walked in both of his at-bats. Ball misses just off the outside corner. A little reaction from Lugo Canchola. Didn't want that, or excuse me, wanted that one. Didn't like the call.
Yeah, it's kind of been a coin flip in that spot. You've seen it called both ways.
Yeah, it seemed to get that call a little bit earlier in the game, and it's kind of evaporated, if you will, later in the game. Felix fouls that one away. Man, probably one of the bigger second basemen you will see in the NCAA this season.
Definitely.
There it is, gets the call this time over the outside corner. And you kind of see Felix wondering, hey, he didn't call it the first pitch, called it that pitch. Felix checks in at 6'2", 215. Certainly looks more imposing even than that. That pitch misses high. The sun's starting to peek behind a cloud as you see some shadows extend over the field here in Nampa. Down the middle, strike 3, Lugo Canchola blows it right by Felix for the 3rd and final out here in the top of the 6th inning. Lugo Canchola is through 6. That's his 5th K of the night. NNU still leads 11-0.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Kind of sorting through a couple of position changes here for Cal State Monterey Bay. It looks like Jimmy Garcia has moved from left field over to first base.
Now batting right field with number 27, Casey Wade.
Trying to update you on who the new left fielder is. In the meantime, we'll tell you that here comes Casey Wayne. 1 for 3 today.
That blue pit last inning that kind of got things going.
Pitch misses inside. I hate to do this to Casey, but the blue pit was actually Cole.
Oh, correct.
Yeah. Don't want to take a hit away from you there, big guy, but count in his favor, though. 2-0 this at-bat. Fist it foul. Fan tries to grab that one, comes up empty.
That might have been previous Nighthawk shortstop Parker Price. I can't really tell, but it looks like the hat he would wear, and if it is Parker, that's embarrassing.
Wow. Has Parker ran out of eligibility at NNU yet?
He sure used all he could while he was here. Huh?
Oh, what a great Nighthawk. Another Timberline High alumnus. His dad, a coaching legend in this area. Won a number of state titles at Timberline High School.
Yeah, prayers for Larry Price. I heard he's going through some health stuff, so prayers headed his way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Larry's
one of the best.
Casey Wayne drives one to left field.
Now batting, the shortstop, number 4.
Casey Wayne now 2 for 4, his second hit. That song means one thing, that Cole Calnon will make his leisurely stride as you take another little replay of Wayne Casey's knock to left field. The 6th multi-hit game of the season for Mr. Wayne. Calnon already with a pair of hits, rolls a slow chopper to short, up and over with it. The nice throw in time. That's Anthony McFarland that just came in between innings to play shortstop for Cal State Monterey.
Another productive out from the Nighthawks still. Even when they get out, they're still moving runners over. And that's a big reason why the scoreboard is the way that it is.
Here comes Gavin Brubaker, takes the first pitch for ball 1. 1 for 2 with an RBI and a walk, batting average up to .316. Attacks a high fastball, lifts it towards right field, up and under it, an easy catch.
Now batting center fielder, number 39, Carter Walsh.
So 2 out here in the bottom of the 6th. I believe that's Nick Maestas now out in right field for the Otters. A number of defensive changes for Cal State Monterey Bay. Carter Walsh takes the first pitch from Flores for a strike. Walsh had that battle his last at-bat, should have earned a walk. Unfortunate call on his check swing, though, sent him back to the dugout with a strikeout. He's 0 for 3, does have an RBI.
He's going to beat that out.
A chopper towards third, barehanded play. Heck, a nice play there, charging hard. Jacob Dressler barehands that thing off the AstroTurf, but
The catcher, number 2, Drew
Walsh,
Deal.
as you mentioned, running to first, he's just too quick for that.
Yeah, I mean, that was
Heck of a play, wow.
Great play.
He made it as close as you possibly could. So now we get runners on the corners with 2 outs for Drew Deal, who had a big 2-out, 2 RBI single his last at-bat. Daniel Flores has done a good job, though, for Cal State Monterey Bay coming out of the bullpen. The third pitcher the Otters have used tonight. Flores held that pitch for a while, delivers a high fastball for ball one. Deal 1 for 3. Recorded his 11th and 12th RBI last inning. Flores keeping Walsh honest over at first base. I don't know how aggressive NNU stays on the base pass up 11-0, but Walsh can certainly take a bag if you need him to.
Yeah, Coach Schaefer likes to score every run if he can. I think
that is a bit of their motto. You never know which one run beats you, and there goes Walsh. And it looks like that pitch actually made contact with Deal. So Walsh dives into second base. At the end of the day, could have trotted there, and now Deal goes to first. It'll be bases loaded for Nin Burns II, who is on fire. He has reached base all 4 times he has been up. 3 for 4 overall with 3 RBIs and a home run. Bases juiced for NNU's best power threat. Flores into the wind. And Burns goes right back up the middle, but gliding over to make the play is McFarland. Gets the force at second to get out of the inning. Cal State Monterey Bay limits the damage here and is able to put up a 0 in the bottom of the 6th. Despite NNU loading the bases, they still have some work to do with the Nighthawks leading 11-0 as we head now for the top of the 7th. Down 11-0. It will be 5-6-7 here for Cal State Monterey Bay. Jaden Shepard's going to lead it off. He's 1 for 2 today. And Lugo Canchola trying to work on this shutout. He has carried it into the 7th inning now as the first pitch is over for a strike. Max, you look at his line. 6 innings, 4 walks, 5 Ks, no runs, 2 hits. He's now at 94 pitches. How long do you let him go tonight? Is this his game to finish?
Well, there's kind of 2 schools of thought there, and both are leaning the way of he's going to try to finish this game. First one is saving arms for the rest of the weekend because we don't know what the other game or 2 will entail. But another thing is you see that ERA just keep ticking down. And, you know, something about Coach Hall is he is aware of records and stats, and he wants the best for the players. I remember conversations of my saves record and conversation with that. So he's aware of that too. And I think he's going to, you know, try to keep Ernie in the record books for a very long time if he can.
Ernie thought he had his 6th strikeout of the evening right there.
So did the rest of the crowd.
But he's going to have to climb back up on the mound and try to earn this one again. The 2-2 pitch towards Shepard. This is up at the letters and maybe even a little in.
Shepard 6'6". I mean,
big dude. That one, a hopper towards Cole Calnon. He skips it over to Karpstein at first base.
These NNU players are just so good at using the turf.
I was going to say, they know the field, right?
Yeah, they showed that last weekend, too, for a lot of plays. And they do have a home field advantage. I'm not sure what the record is, but I know before last weekend, I could probably do some quick math, it was 16-4 at home. And now I think it would be, 18-5 record at home here. (18-6).
Good math. You're good at that. Quick math there. You haven't missed many of these games this year, though.
Yeah, no, it's been fun to watch this team. I actually welcomed a baby boy into this world April 1st, and he was out here. Thank you. He was out here on the field April 4th, so we didn't miss that home game against, I think it was Billings. Could be wrong, but yeah, 3 days after, he was already watching a Nighthawk baseball game.
You know, I feel like they played Montana State Billings like 15 times this year, so
it's a good guess.
It probably was them. It is a good guess. This is Mike McKernan pinch hitting for Cal State Monterey Bay. The 1-2 pitch, he fouls off, out of play, down the right field line, hitting 136 on the season. So you can see Coach White trying to cycle through some of his depth with the Otters down 11-0.
Now the MO for Monterey Bay used to be that they would bring a lot of guys in the fall and really have them battle it out for these spots. So I'm sure that dugout over there, as we see the stats, they got a ton of just gamers over in that dugout, and hence the ability to put up football numbers for their scores this season. That's why I think Joe Schaefer had the Carter Walsh take that base last inning. I mean, he knows what that offense on the other side of the field can do, and he's going to get every opportunity to score a run that he can.
Ball scoots away, pops out of the glove of Deal. So count goes to full. Top of the 7th, 1 out.
A lot of full counts today,
yep.
And that's kind of the reason for the 104 pitch count number there. But we've seen him go as high as 120 pitches this season, so I don't know why this game would be any different as he walks.
Now batting.
It's the 5th walk that Lugo Canchola has surrendered today. Only 2 hits. So 7 runners have reached, 5 via the walk, only 2 via a hit. Matt Holland's going to make the stroll out to the mound.
Couple guys in the bullpen getting loose.
Doesn't seem like a huge sense of urgency down there in the bullpen, but yeah, some guys starting to rock and fire. Matt's going to kick around the fake dirt on top of the mound there for a second, maybe buy a little time for those guys to throw a few down in the pen. I mean, at this point in time, Lugo Canchola has probably done everything and more that you've wanted him to do. I mean,
right.
And then he's up 11-0. He's gotten you into the 6th inning, and he's going to stay in the game right now.
Yeah, that's almost like a warning stroll out of Coach Holland there. I guarantee he said something along the lines of, hey, if another runner gets on, we might be looking elsewhere with the pitch count as high as it is and where the score's at, but good chance for a double play as well. I know that he's going to be looking to throw a ground ball with the infield on the left side, all 3 of them.
Got another pinch hitter here. It's Evan Stouch. Coach White has the luxury of bringing a hitter that's hitting .310 off the bench in this situation. Ball misses. And while Lugo Canchola certainly is capable of, as you said earlier, throwing 120 pitches, I will say you're probably getting to the point where you have to have hope that you need him for another game or 2 this year, right?
Right.
Guy is a warrior, though, so he pitched on Friday, right, last week, an elimination game, beats Montana State Billings, didn't have his best stuff by any means, but throws 5 innings, gives up 2 earned runs, and ends up, having a pitch count that approaches 100 as Rojas makes a diving play, throws to Brubaker, gets the out at second, but hustling down the line is Stouch to avoid the double play. A great stab at third base by Brian Rojas. Man, this is a scorcher by Stouch.
Now batting number 30, Evan Castillo.
Yeah.
Just beats the throw to first.
Camera crew doing a good job keeping up with that baseball. That was some very good defensive work there all across the diamond.
Getting back to Lugo Canchola here for just a second. So, again, throws right around 100 pitches on Friday, goes 5 innings, and it was a tough 100 too. Like he was fighting with himself most of the game out there. And when NNU got into trouble on Saturday late in that game, he was actually in the bullpen warming up just in case they had to bring him in. Now, Wade Duncan said, hey, hold up here. I got this thing, and finished the deal. But this guy just wants the ball, man. He just wants to make an impact on this team. And that was a moment that maybe some didn't see, but it really shows the character of who this All-American is. He wants to win, loves his teammates, kept trying to ask him about himself when I came out to talk to him the other day, and just kept bringing up the guys behind him and how much confidence, they give him out there on the mound. Nin Burns is going to charge hard towards the right field foul line and comes up with the catch, and a big fist pump by Lugo Canchola, who that might be it for him, sitting at sitting at 110 pitches. Nin Burns goes a long way to make this catch, just shy of foul territory for the final out here, the 7th inning. We'll see if that's it for Lugo Canchola. We go to the bottom of the 7th after this.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Brian Rojas will lead off for the Nighthawks in the bottom of the 7th inning, 2 for 3. Has a double and a triple tonight. Swung on and missed by Rojas.
Healthy hack there.
I don't know if it's the case every batting practice session, but in the ones that I've witnessed, Rojas is the guy in charge of the playlist.
I would not doubt that.
Tries to kind of set the tone, keeping everybody free, loose, easy. Hammer towards center field. Does it have enough? Retreating back near the track, making the catch in center field. Cal State Monterey Bay gets the first out of the inning. We've had a number of defensive replacements for the Otters here just recently, trying to cycle or sift through all of them. A nice swing by Rojas. Ball not carrying to center field as good as it does at times, and as we get a little later on in the evening, the air is feeling a little more crisp than it did right when this game started. Had some thunderstorms roll through the area earlier this afternoon, but been fairly sunny and beautiful ever since the Nighthawks and Otters stepped on the field tonight.
Yeah, still a great piece of hitting from Rojas, going right back up the middle there and getting to the warning track. I mean, just a great swing.
I believe that's Mike McKernan in center field that went all the way to the warning track to track that ball down. Doing our best to identify these guys as the shadows start to kind of consume the outfield.
Especially with those gray uniforms there. I mean, very tough to see.
Karpstein takes ball 2 high. Counts 2-1. He's 1 for 4 with an RBI. After that last hit, his batting average creeping back up towards 400, 398. Takes that pitch up and in.
3-1 count to Karpstein here. He's looking for something to drive in the gap. Also have a correction to make. That fan who dropped the ball was not former Nighthawk Parker Price. I was made aware of that. Sorry, Parker. Appreciate you listening. As Karpstein takes a walk, adds to that base percentage.
I just figured you wanted to give him a shout out.
Right, yeah.
Any chance I get to talk about the Price family, I'll jump at. What a great baseball family for real, though.
Oh, absolutely.
So, yeah, you're right. Karpstein takes the free pass. His on-base percentage back at 500. Knocking on the door of a top 5 mark in school history, and here comes Chris Enriquez. Smash right back up the box into center field. Karpstein on his horse around second, going to make it standing up into third. Runners on the corners now with 1 out for Wayne Casey. Excuse me, Casey Wayne.
And again, not a hesitation from Karpstein there, rounding second. It's full throttle for these guys, and they're wanting to put up some runs and keep some momentum going into the weekend.
When you look at what this team does so well on offense, I just think it's an overlooked part of this team. They're really a sound base running team. Have a pinch runner for the big man. Enriquez going to come out.
I believe that's Noah Palomares, Skyview kid.
Yep.
Very fast base runner.
He actually probably had the underrated play of the game last Saturday against Point Loma. Came into pinch run, and on a ball that kicked just right in front of the catcher, really. He had a great secondary and was able to take advantage and moved up to second base. And as a true freshman, in that situation, you better make it, and he did. And a little bit later in that inning, it was Karpstein that delivered that hit to the opposite field gap, and he was able to score on it. And without him taking advantage of that base, that game gets a little more interesting. So a true freshman going out there and doing his job.
And I've heard he's an absolute savage in the weight room, too.
Yeah.
I mean, no weight is safe to be lifted
5'7",
off the
185,
ground.
yeah.
And he just looks like that, too.
Wayne already with 2 hits. Batting average now sitting at 377. Nighthawks have 4 guys in their starting lineup batting 355 or better. Wayne takes that one. So the count's 3-1. Runners on the corner, 1 out.
Wind blowing to left again. Casey Wayne looking for his pitch here, 3-1.
Nobody holding the runner at first, but looks like he's not going to go or anything. Ball hacked on by Casey. Fouled back.
Just a tad late there. That was kind of where he was looking for it.
All things considered, Flores has done a pretty good job out of the bullpen for Cal State Monterey Bay. Ooh, a bender over the corner. And as I say that, The strikeout, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th for NNU. By the way, Vince Ciccolello came in this last inning, so you can't close the book on Flores, who did do a good job for the Otters out of the bullpen. A couple of scoreless innings. Hands it off to Ciccolello. He's the guy dealing with runners on the corners with 2 outs, with Cole Calnon at the plate. 2 for 4 tonight. Driven towards right center field, but plenty of room as Mestices settles under it for the 3rd and final out. NNU strands 2. Still holding an 11-0 lead over Cal State Monterey Bay through 7.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
A scoreless inning of work against Point Loma in the Thursday game. Got a crucial out against Montana State Billings to finish out that game on Friday. It was an elimination game for NNU. Ball grounded towards second baseman. Gavin Brubaker over easy with it to first base for the first out of the inning.
Now batting, number 37, Jimmy Garcia.
Jacob Rochelle's a guy, just very quiet, keeps to himself, but comes in and works hard every day at practice. He actually has a very good pitch repertoire, has a really good cutter, and came in with that and wasn't using it a whole lot. But fastball up to 90 this year, and he's just been, I think he's going to be a very important part of this Nighthawk bullpen for the next couple of years, as he's a sophomore, I believe.
He is, redshirt sophomore, out of San Marcos, California. 6 feet, 210 pounds. Also listed as an outfielder. Did you make a a play to also be listed as a position player when you were here, Max?
I definitely did not. I was very happy for my last high school baseball game. I never had to hit again. So
what was it, 12 saves in 2021? This team's coming after that team as the best in school history. And with all due respect to that team, and yourself for that matter, I just think overall the arms on this team are just, I'm going to say, a little more lively, if you will.
Definitely. Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
I was trying to tiptoe into that, buddy.
Yeah, they have some good velocity on this squad, whereas the 2021 team, they were had a lot of guys that could sling it. Mm-hmm. Nick Irwin, a guy who threw with the funky sidearm release point. Very good Nighthawk career, as Rochelle gets a strikeout there. But, yeah, definitely there's some similarities to that team. Coach Hall has done a great job of the walk per 9 ratio being best in the country the past 2 years.
Got to earn everything, really, against this NNU staff as Rochelle throws a chair at one of the best hitters in this Otters lineup.
I want to touch on Rochelle kind of being the quiet kid. He came in with that long hair. Everyone on the team called him Clay Matthews. And he didn't correct anybody. Just kind of kept it, so calling him Clay for a while there. But I don't know if that nickname still stuck around. But, again, just a great kid, and I think he's going to be very successful for this program going forward.
Not many starters left in the lineup for Cal State Monterey Bay. Garcia just got out. He's one of them. Dressler, another one. He's into the box, 0 for 3 today. Kind of leans away from that pitch that's up and in.
Might have been that cutter there because it looked like it was going to hit him, and then last second kind of dived towards the middle.
Some guys kind of walking around the NNU bullpen, but it certainly looks like this inning for sure is Rochelle's. We'll see if he comes back out to finish this thing in the 9th. We are in the 8th. NNU 4 outs away. All they need from securing a Game 1 victory. Again, this is a team that's never hosted a super regional. They're sitting on a school record 42 wins, chasing number 43 tonight. It's pretty wild. I mean, I think you can look at 42 and 14 and understand that that's a good record, but if you were to take that and project it out over a 162 game schedule, that'd be about 122 wins. The MLB record's 116, and I'm not saying that these guys would, fare that way against MLB talent. I'm just saying that, you look at that winning percentage. That is off the charts. Joe Schaefer just continues to work his magic at NNU. He inherited a program, a few years ago that was coming off back-to-back, as I don't know where that pitch missed.
Wow. Yeah.
Dressler's going to walk down to first base. But he inherited a program, a few years ago, Max, you know this as good as anybody, back-to-back seasons where they were 12 games under 500. And he came here and immediately won. And he really hasn't slowed down much ever since.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was very fortunate to be a part of Joe Schaefer's first recruiting class because you're right, he did come and inherit a team, but I think there was 23 of us that came in that first recruiting class. And, I mean, credit to him and Coach Holla did their research. And I think, you look at some of those guys, a lot of us came from junior college. We had career years the 2 years we were here at NNU.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of shows what kind of coach Joe Schaefer and Matt Hollett are, just bringing the best out of the players once they get into this program.
Mm-hmm. Anthony McFarland getting his first at-bat of the day. He's hitting 174 on the season. He made a couple nice plays out at shortstop last couple of innings. Ball misses down. To get back to Matt Hollid, he's the associate head coach and pitching coach here at NNU, and it's kind of interesting, when Schaefer got the job here, he leaned on another, what I'll call local baseball legend, Gary Van Tall, former Boise State baseball coach, former coach of the Boise Hawks. He's currently a scout with the Cincinnati Reds. And just, Schaefer called him and said, hey, the area, who should I give a call? And Matt Hollid was on the short list. I don't know if you know this, but Matt Hollid was driving to Colorado at the time and thinking he might get away from coaching college baseball. And he moved here with Schaefer to NNU, and he says it's the best place he's ever coached at. Swung on and missed. Rochelle ends the top half of the 8th inning with the K as McFarland goes down on strikes. Coming out of the pen, picking up where Lugo Canchola left off. It's 11-0 NNU. So there's your schedule for the next couple of days, or maybe really only day if NNU is able to hold on to this 11-0 lead. They could end this series with a win tomorrow and punch their ticket to the D2 College Baseball World Series. That, if necessary, game could loom on Saturday at 6 o'clock, but that is the lineup for this Super Regional here in Nampa.
Now batting, number 5, Gavin Brubaker.
New pitcher for Cal State Monterey. That's Anthony Gennady. That's going to climb up on the mound to face Gavin Brubaker to lead off the bottom of the 8th inning. Ugly check swing there by Brubaker for strike one. Gennady, a 6'1", 210-pound senior out of San Diego, California. Pitched previously at San Diego College. Liner by Brubaker to McFarland at short, who makes the stab.
Now batting, number 39, Carter Walsh.
This is Gennady's 8th appearance of the season, all out of the bullpen. Came into this game with a 6.75 ERA. Again, seldom used, though. Only 9 1/3 innings pitched coming into tonight on the season. So here comes Carter Walsh. Every single NNU starter has at least one hit in this game. Everybody's going to be feeling good post-game, I would say, Max.
Oh, absolutely. And I know that Coach Schaefer's going to do a good job in his post-game talk, saying to keep this momentum and stay locked in, keep your foot on the pedal.
I know that they, you find your bulletin board material, if you will, as Carter Walsh leans into one down the left field line, has the distance, but well fouled.
Anthony Gennady.
But apparently there was an article circulating out there, a pre-super regional article where Cal State Monterey Bay felt like they were the more battle-tested team. They were hanging on to that as confidence coming to Nampa this week. Kind of a crazy thing that we learned right before the game. A lot of good baseball's played in California, obviously, right? This is the first flight that this Cal State Monterey Bay program has taken. Apparently, we've been told. First flight they've taken since 2005. It's almost hard to believe with how much success they've had, but
Now batting, number 2.
Yeah,
do a lot of their traveling in California and just bus everywhere. So it'll be Drew Deal with one out here in the bottom of the 8th as Carter Walsh walks his way down to first base. First pitch to Deal over for strike one. Deal 1 for 3.
they're not holding Walsh on at first there. I don't know if Schaefer's going to take that bag or not, but
Walsh seems fairly content over there as Deal now falls behind 0-2. Nin Burns, 3 for 5 with 3 RBIs and a bomb, is sitting on deck waiting for an opportunity here as Deal stays alive, fouling that pitch to the backstop. Chopper towards short. McFarland makes a nice play but can't finish it. Throws it into right field. It looks like his second baseman had a little trouble seeing that one.
Yeah, he threw that ball pretty hard there, the second baseman. It's hard throwing behind him when he's breaking to the bag. Kind of a tough play to make there, but I think that McFarland knew Drew Deal didn't have a whole lot of speed, wanted to get Carter Walsh off the base paths, but unfortunately just got a little away from him.
That's Stouch out there at second base for the Otters right now. Mans the middle with McFarland. Burns back into the box for a 6th time. And there are times you don't get to see this many pitches in batting practice.
Wind's died down a little bit, but that still wouldn't be an issue for Burns here if he gets his pitch.
Yeah, he's got enough power to hit it out anywhere in any conditions, but it is getting a little cooler. Falls behind 0-2. Back up on the plate. Swings and misses at a high fastball. Catcher hangs on for the second out.
Now batting, number 7, Brian Rojas.
That bottom of the lineup for the Nighthawks all game has just been on base for those guys at the top of the order.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's great to see throughout the lineup that we're showing production.
You've had a ton of stats tonight, Max. I'm just going to assume that this one's not in the program, but anytime you have 4 guys, 4 of your starters with multi-hit games, I'm going to assume your winning percentage is pretty high when that's the case. See if Rojas can get a hold of one here. He's sent 2 to the wall. He's tripled off the wall in center. He's doubled off the wall in left. He flew out just shy of the wall in center field his last at-bat. This one's going out to left. Does it have enough? Back to the track, to the wall. It's gone. Rojas with his 3rd hit of the game. A 3-run bomb that sneaks over the wall in left center field. A home run, a triple, and a double. I don't think we'll get a chance to see if he can go after the cycle here, but he's got the 3 toughest ones. Again, the ball not carrying that well this late at night, but just enough to get over the wall. It felt like he was due. Like I said, he's hit 4 balls to the wall tonight. That 4th one finally gets over the wall. A 3-hit game for Brian Rojas. Man, what a night for the senior.
4 home runs in the past 2 weekends. I mean,
he has just been red hot at the plate. Ball's going to go foul as Karpstein looking for another hit. He's 1 for 4 with a walk tonight. Rojas has his batting average up to .371. Transfer out of Lane Community College. I know at one point in time thought that maybe Utah, the University of Utah, was going to be his next step. Ends up here at NNU and has just been a tremendous baseball player. Has aspirations of playing professionally, maybe overseas. We'll see when that happens for him. Trying to continue to extend his Nighthawk career at least a couple more weeks. A win today gets him 1 step closer to doing that. 14-0. A statement performance by the Nighthawks.
Throw another stat at you, Jay. Nighthawks 21-0 when leading after 8 innings this season. So It's looking pretty good.
Please tell me
I'm a betting man.
Yeah. Is there ever? I'm gonna guess there in the history of baseball. I don't know. I bet you there hasn't been a team that's blown a 14-0 lead after 8. I don't know. Everything's been done. I guess probably.
Yeah. Wouldn't go that far yet.
Yeah.
But
Called strike 3 to end the bottom of the 8. So NNU continues to add and pad their stat totals. A 3-run home run by Brian Rojas makes it 14-0 Nighthawks. We're 3 outs away from this one being over.
Now batting number 3, Nick Myastis.
Top of the 9th. Jacob Rochelle's going to finish this thing out, or at least attempt to, for NNU. Nick Myastis will get his first at-bat of the game, entered as a defensive replacement 2 innings ago out in right field. Chokes up on the knob of the bat, takes strike 1 from Rochelle. Feels like NNU has really worked ahead in the count most of the evening. Myastis floats one into center field for a base hit, just the 3rd hit of the game, I believe,
Andrew Lehman.
for Cal State Monterey Bay. That is just the 3rd hit.
yeah, and you talk about getting ahead in the count, first pitch strikes. To piggyback off of a lot of things we said about Matt Hollett being a good game planner, he has a chart that he created, and it has tracked every pitch that we throw in scrimmages and in games and everything, and he has all those stats on his computer. He knows what our best pitch is better than we do. And he really creates an emphasis to try to have guys throw their best pitch, that first pitch, to get ahead.
Well, back-to-back knocks here by the Otters in the top of the 9th.
That was Andrew Lehman, the pinch hitter.
Yeah. Again, not a lot of starters remain in the lineup for Cal State Monterey Bay at this point. Another reserve. We'll try to take his swings. Mike McKernan takes strike 1. Paints the bottom of the zone.
One thing that Hollett tracks on that sheet he has is it's kind of like getting the next batter out after they reach base. And that's even on an error, and that's to limit damage. I mean, you talk about like a successful inning. Rochelle throws another strike there. Getting the next guy is going to limit damage. So even if, say, bases were loaded, nobody out, and they walk away with only 1 run given up because they're getting the next guy out, I mean, that's a win and a check mark in Hollett's book, and he remembers that stuff.
Ooh, that one gets away from Rochelle, high and tight. McKernan leans out of the way or ducks out of the way. Nobody out. Back-to-back singles here by the Otters to start the top of the 9th inning. They do trail 14-0, so they got to string together a lot of hits. And Rochelle with a backwards K. As McKernan just kind of admiring that one over the outside corner, and he'll head back to the dugout. Another thing you still want to see in this situation, if you're a pitcher, you can't let a couple of singles get in your head. You're up 14-0. You just got to continue to try to throw strikes and end this thing.
Absolutely.
Here comes Evan Stouch, 0 for 1 today.
All three infielders on the left side of the infield again.
Yeah. When you haven't played a team all season long, how does NNU collect their scouting report to know this is how they need to approach this guy?
Well, I'd like to see Matt Hollitt's screen time the last week here. I think it's probably just some ridiculous numbers he's putting up. But there's also a program out there, I think it's called 643 or something, that keeps track of all the programs at the Division II level. And I would be surprised if not every team had that. I mean, I know we use it a lot, and it has tendencies for guys and just keeps a database on players. So he takes a look at that, but it is the screen time as well. He really puts together a plan for each hitter on that side of the field.
Pass ball gets away from Deal. Runners move up. NNU trying to protect their shutout. That's going to be a pop-up in the infield. Stouch not happy with it, slams the bat. Brubaker under it easily for the second out. So NNU 1 out away. Rochelle trying to leave these runners stranded in scoring position and protect the shutout. First pitch fouled away.
I think that's every batter this inning so far. First pitch strike. Rochelle doing a great job at that.
Omar Gastelum trying to extend this thing a little longer for the Otters. The 0-1 pitch. (14-0). Been here for a minute. Getting a little late.
Umpire wants to stay a little longer too.
Umpire wants to stay a little longer there. He gets that pitch. Man, the last pitch looked a little bit better than that one. Either way, Cal State, Monterey Bay down to their final strike. The Nighthawk fans here in attendance, near capacity crowd. You can hear them cheering it on as Rochelle kind of short hops that one.
That's a great save by Deal there to
good
keep
point. Good point.
Keep the shutout intact. That was.
Yeah. I know it doesn't matter, but it absolutely matters to these pitchers at this point. They want this shutout.
Momentum for Jacob Rochelle here is absolutely huge if he can get out of this, especially those two runners on, nobody out.
2-2 pitch. Misses off the inside corner, a full count.
This is where growth happens for these young pitchers here.
It'll be Noah Zertucci up next if Gastelum can reach base. The full count offering. On the inside corner, strike 3. NNU takes game 1 against Cal State Monterey Bay. An 11-0 dominant performance. Lugo Canchola starts it, and Rochelle ends it. What an effort by the Nighthawks tonight, Max. I mean, you know, these are some of, if not the biggest games in school history. Yes, I know that you guys have been to Cary, North Carolina once before. I understand that. But Never have you been in the position to host a super regional before, and I know there's comforts of playing at home, but there's also added pressure of playing and wanting to impress your fans, your family, and NNU responded with flying colors tonight. A 14-0 blowout victory over Cal State Monterey Bay.
Yeah, giving up 4 hits all game to a very good offense over there. Using 2 pitchers as well, preserving your bullpen for the weekend. Is just super impressive performance out of this Nighthawk squad. And it is fun playing in front of all these fans. Hopefully we get more people coming out tomorrow. It was, I mean, I'd call it a sellout crowd. So gates open at 5 o'clock, get here at 5:01 to secure your seat. It's the best chance you have.
Yeah, right? I mean, they added a bunch of stands to accommodate the demand of the fans, and the fans responded. The team impressed. You look at some of the players here. I mean, Nin Burns III, 3 for 6, 3 RBIs. Brian Rojas, 3 for 5, 4 RBIs, a double, a triple, a 3-run bomb that he hit in the bottom of the 8th inning. A couple of other guys with multi-hit games. Chris Enriquez, 2 for 5. He left the yard. Casey Wayne, a pair of knocks. Cole Calnon had the big double that got the scoring started all the way back in the bottom of the 2nd inning. He goes 2 for 5. And then, you know, you have the rest of the line. Every starter got a hit tonight. Everybody contributed.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Joe Schaefer's saying right there in the post-game talk. I mean, we're going to get that kind of production out of your 1 through 9 guys, and you're going to put yourself in a very good chance to win ball games and dominate ball games like they did tonight.
Ernesto Lugo Canchola goes 7 innings tonight. Throws 111 pitches, doesn't allow a run, only gives up 2 hits, worked his way through 5 walks, struck out 5. His ERA on the season is now down to 1.94, and we're talking about a guy, Max, that's thrown over 88 innings and has a 1.94 ERA.
Yeah, and his whip even went lower too. I know he's top, I think maybe top 10 or top 25 at least in the country with his whip, and I mean just a dominant performance. Kept his emotions in check all night, except for when he came out of the game in the 7th inning, completely fired up.
The good emotion,
team.
though, right?
Exactly.
I did it, you know?
Yeah, and there's no better feeling in the world walking off the mound with that kind of performance.
His 12th win of the season, he might be putting that record out of reach. I mean, the previous single-season record was 9 wins here at NNU. He won his 12th game tonight. He's 12-0 on the season, and now he hands the ball off tomorrow to a guy that knows a thing or two about perfection when it comes to record. Not only is Cole Calnon's record a perfect 10-0, but the team has not lost this season when he has started a game on the mound.
Yeah, it absolutely puts – I mean, it makes everyone in that dugout feel even more at ease when that's happening. And they're going to face a team tomorrow in an elimination game for them. They're going to bring their all.
Yep.
But you still feel a nice calm in the Nighthawk dugout knowing that you have Cole Calnon, the GNAC Pitcher of the Year, on the mound giving you the best chance that you can have to win the ball game. I mean, Cole, you look at his walk numbers. You have to come out and beat Cole because he's not going to give you a millimeter, let alone an inch. So.
No. Cole also, coincidentally, has thrown 88 1/3 innings. That's exactly now the amount of innings that Lugo Canchola has thrown this season. Given Lugo Canchola has 2 more starts, though, than Cole, so he always works into games routinely. He started 13 games. He's finished 8 of them. He has 2 complete game shutouts. And as you mentioned, you got to earn it. He's issued 13 free passes in 88 1/3 innings pitched. I mean, he's just not going to give you anything. He's 10-0 with a 2.34 ERA. He's an All-American. He was voted the team MVP by his teammates. And tomorrow, Max, he has a chance to go out there and send the Northwest Nazarene baseball team to the College Baseball World Series for the 2nd time in program history tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. And not a better place to be. I wish the best for this team, and Cole's going to give them everything he's got because he's just a complete gamer. And I'm excited to watch tomorrow.
All right. That'll do it for tonight. Again, you can watch tomorrow's game. It will stream live on NNUsports.com and on KTVB Plus. First pitch is at 6 o'clock. NNU is going to send Cole Calnon to the mound with a chance to clinch a spot at the 2025 D2 College Baseball World Series. Cal State Monterey Bay going to try to stave off elimination and force an, if necessary, Game 3 on Saturday. We'll see if the Otters have it in them. For my man, Max Holtzclaw, I'm Jay Tuss. We will be back tomorrow again. First pitch at 6 o'clock. NNU wins this one, Game 1, 14-0 the final.